Uh-oh, the Xbox Series S was stealth released by Xbox themselves and is creating a buzz in the gaming world. We on the Bethesda channel talked about its global aspect in the console space, but here let's talk about the conversations being had in the streaming space. Let's get together and chat about what the Xbox Series S reveal means for Stadia and cloud gaming. Our thoughts. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the Stadia Dosage. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and y'all know the slogan. I'm not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right. So here's the story, y'all. If y'all don't know it already, y'all live under a rock. The Xbox Series S was stealth released, okay? Not only did they give y'all the design of the console, you know, a nice little white boombox, right? Ghetto blasters, they used to call them. But they also revealed the technical specs at a high level, 1440p native streaming with an upscale to 4K, variable refresh rate technology, up to 120 frames per second natively, and all that jazz, along with the $299 price point in the States and an aggressive $249 price point over in Europe, right? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. That being said, y'all don't care about all that except for the price point, maybe. Y'all care about the streaming aspects. And it has been revealed that it can do 4K streaming. That it will be possible to do 4K streaming on this box. So it will be a 4K streaming box, okay? And now we're having conversations within the cloud gaming community about the pros and cons of this entry of this streaming box / Daddy device unit being brought into the foray. So let's talk about it. Okay. So let's do this. Let me show you something. This is an article by our good friends over at videogameschronicle.com. Shout out to them. The article reads, the cheaper Xbox Series S will support ray tracing 120 frames per second and upscale 4K. Leaked video details the tech specs of Microsoft's $300 USD / 250 euros next-gen console. All right. So here's the part that we all care about. This is the paragraph that I think is more prevalent to our discussion. Xbox Series S will also support DirectX ray tracing and will run games natively at 1440p and up to 120 frames per second. It's also capable of running games at an upscale 4K and can stream media at the higher 4K resolution. All right. So, here's the thing. So let's talk about it, guys and gals, because we're now having discussions on the back end about, oh man, this is a great entry into the cloud gaming space and all this other stuff. And I just wanted to look at everything from 5,000 feet. So we're looking at every single molecule before we talk about certain things in absolutes. Because here's what we often like to do. When it comes to Stadia, and we talk about its future, the things that they touched upon, people want to say, oh, no, it's a myth. Don't believe it. They haven't made any formal announcements of when it's coming. They just talk about aspirations. Don't do that. Don't talk about Gen 2. It's a folk's tale. But then when it comes to Xbox, which is an entity known because of its head, Phil Spencer, to flip-flop more than a dozen dolphins in the ocean, as soon as they announce something, those very same people will say, oh, well, the Xcloud is going to do this, is going to do that. It's going to be able to, and that right there, my friends, is what prompts videos like this, that grinds my gears, honestly, prompts videos like this. It has me put on my cape to help save the unsuspecting gamer. We're not going to talk in absolutes about stuff that, if we're going to, better yet, if we're going to talk in absolutes about anything that anybody do or they say they're going to do, Xbox should be last, should be dead last. I can come up with 1 billion videos. Well, we're going to come first with the uncompromised 4K. We're going to do the uncompromised 4K, and we're going to come up with uncompromised VR. Look, not all of the games were native for true. We're going to come with true 4K. Not all the games were native 4K at the release of the Xbox One X, and they didn't even come with any damn VR. And let it be told that 2 years and 8 months after the world's most powerful console was released, they canceled the damn thing. They ain't making no more. They ain't making no more. So again, to the unsuspecting, and I'm not trying to be mean to all my good friends out there in the cloud ethos having these discussions. I see y'all. But again, I just want to bring clarity to the unsuspecting gamer. Just because Xbox say they gonna do something, more often than not, especially within the last few years, what they say they gonna do either comes extremely late, gets seriously reworked, or doesn't come at all. All right? So let's clarify it. Let's talk about the pros though, as it relates to cloud gaming. The Xbox Series S Pros. I like the aggressive pricing in Europe. That aggressive pricing of not keeping it $299 in Europe as well, but doing the cost adjustment due to the transfer rate of the currency, whatever you want to call it. It slips my mind right now, the terminology for it. The currency exchange rate. That's smart. Because what you want to do is you want to get as much saturation in homes as possible, and we know the people in Europe are going to be salivating and waiting for the PlayStation 5, and everybody's not going to be able to get a hold of one. So why not say, hey, look, if you want to at least get your foot in the door of next gen gaming, get this thing right here, baby. Get it right here. It's only $249. Smart move. I like it. I like it for not only for cloud gaming, just period, man. Period. I just like it for saturation in the homes for those that are trying to get the PlayStation 5. And which is a cool thing is that even those that are making the entry natively, if you're getting into streaming, this can be a 4K stream box. So you ain't got to worry. If you want frictionless gaming, if you want the joys of frictionless gaming, I don't know how progressive they're going to be on the frictionless side, because if we look at what they're doing now with the Xbox One S being in the server blades, there is a lot of friction still there. But if you like the adverse to cloud gaming, let's just say the Xbox Series X in the server blades does reduce the friction considerably, you'll be able to get the benefits of that being streamed to your console via 4K. Again, I'm being careful. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just being careful here because I don't want to talk in absolutes about anything. All right. Those are the pros. But now let's get into reality land and let's talk about these cons. If cloud gaming is your thing, and you're looking at this unit opposed to Stadia, first and foremost, again, you got to look at the friction, the frictionless aspect of it. Again, right now, because it is a sole cloud gaming device, you don't get the loads, you don't get the installs that you're still going to get, even though they might be faster once this does upgrade to Series X server blades. You're still going to get the friction that is associated to the Xbox Series X, and there's still going to be friction because the way that Xbox's cloud infrastructure works is it's tethered to the capabilities of the box that is in your home. See, when you're putting the box in your home, you have to add friction and you have to add limits to it in order to be able to manageably handle the creation of the software for said device. But when the hardware is in the cloud, right? It's more accessible to the developer or the platform holder, and a lot of that friction is thrown away. So because what they're basically doing is they're creating a box that has to have friction just for the sake of the nature of what it's going to be doing. It's going to be playing games natively in a home that they're not necessarily going to have access to. So they're going to put guardrails around it, aka friction. They're creating a box for that purpose, then taking that box and then putting it in server blades with the friction included, because again, it has to be synonymous. The way that they developed their technology, it has to be synonymous to what is capable from the box. So first and foremost, if you're a cloud gaming fanatic like myself, as time goes on, the first year, 2 years of the Xbox Series X, it's not going to be a problem. But as the normal cloud technology starts to expand and starts to grow rapidly, that friction that is tethered to that box that they created, because they had to, because it has to work on your own, that they took that same box as to work on your own and then put it in the cloud, that same friction is going to become more and more prevalent year after year after year. So you got to look at that at the whole cloud technology comparison period. And for those that like the advent of frictionless gaming, that's something to think about. And again, it's something to think about long term and even in the short term when you're asked to pay 3 times the price for the Xbox Series S just for the simple fact it can play games natively. Again, think about it. You're getting more friction for 3 times the price. That's something to think about. And then for 3 times the price, when I say 3 times the price, I'm solely talking about the fact that the Premier Edition of Stadia is only $100. So for $300, not only are you paying to be introduced to cloud gaming for more friction, but for 3 times the price, it will not have the streaming capabilities out of the box as far as we know. Until they make an official announcement, that's the way that it is. It's just, you just are comfortable in knowing that it's capable. It's capable. It's going to be capable, right? Then also, for your investment for 3 times the price, if you're a cloud gaming enthusiast, you're paying for a cloud gaming service that is very limited in the titles that it's going to bring to you. Right now, Xcloud, its streaming software, its streaming product is tethered solely to Game Pass. You can only play Game Pass games on Xcloud, as far as we know, at launch. For 3 times the price, that's what you're getting. Also, for 3 times the price, 300 versus 100, you know what I'm saying? It can stream up to 4K. It can only stream up to 4K, right? But what are the max frames? Do we know if it can do 120 frames per second? We don't know. So again, I don't want to talk in absolutes because Stadia is talking 8K 120. Will it have those max capabilities on the Chromecast Ultra? That's something to think about. Because again, I don't want to talk in absolutes, but if you're buying the Xbox Series S with a heavy thought towards its streaming capabilities right now, you have to think long term. The whole frictionless nature of the cloud infrastructure with Xbox, you have to have in the back of your mind. No, really, you got to have it in the front of your mind. Because really, when you buy the box now, if you're buying it now for what you think it may do streaming wise in the future, you got to know about all this stuff up front. And not only do you have to think about the friction nature of the closed environment of the box that they're going to put in the cloud, the home box that they're going to put in the cloud rather, which adds more limitations to it. But you got to think about it, What if with my Chromecast Ultra, I I can get 8K, up to 8K, up to 120 frames per second capability? What if I can out of there? Why would I then go to a streaming device that requires me to pay 3 times the price in order to get the same capabilities? Something you got to think about. So again, in the advent of you wanting to have a foot into the next generation of dedicated device gaming via a console, the Xbox Series S can be an arguable proposal for you. But right now, as we talk the cloud space, and then again, this could all change. I'm not talking absolutes about anything. I'm just putting out there what we know now. But in that cloud discussion right now, it does not seem to be a tantalizing proposal. All right? For the majority of cloud gamers, when you look at everything in totality. And what Xbox is going to have to do in order to make it that way is that they're going to have to make Game Pass a lot more attractive if that's going to be the tethered cloud gaming experience. I talked about this in my other video on my other channel. Put a couple of good AAA games in their day and date, because the Xbox games ain't doing it right now. And now that Halo's pushed back, my God. So you're going to have to do that at launch. And, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get into a little bit more of what the tech can do cloud gaming wise. And when that new, you know what I'm saying, when the 4K capabilities and the streaming to more screens is going to happen. And you're going to have to go beyond tethering the Game Pass to Xcloud experience. Like, let people put their individually purchased digital games and stream them as well. All right. But that's the whole discussion in a nutshell. It's just not ready to happen yet. This announcement is great water cooler talk, but for the dedicated device talk. But as far as cloud gaming talk, no, absolutely not, as far as I'm concerned. And with that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. Hey, yo, let me know what you think about what I have to say in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. And with all that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.